What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Thursday, December 23rd edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by No House Advantage. All new users to No House Advantage receive a $25 deposit bonus using the code Awesemo. Today, we're going to take a look at 5 of the best tournament plays on DraftKings. Keep in mind, there's a lot of pending news, as usual. There's 11 games, a lot of guys with COVID, a lot of actual injuries. Stuff's going to change between now and lock. Ownership projections will change. Player projections will change. Be sure to check out the Deeper Dive show, the Live Before Lock show for more up-to-date news. But as it stands right now, taking a look at 5 of the best tournament plays, not necessarily the guys that are most likely to succeed, but some of the guys that offer the best combination of chances of success and being lower owned than they probably should be. If you're somebody hand building lineups, these are guys that, if you need a lower owned piece to round out your lineups, a lot of these guys will make sense. So starting at number 5, Steph Curry. He's expensive. He's $11,900 in his matchup with the Memphis Grizzlies, but he's only projected for about 7% ownership with about an 8% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Not a particularly likely, chance of success for Curry, but there's tons of value on this slate. There are only a few guys that give you 75 plus fantasy point upside realistically, and Curry is one of them. He's done it this year. He certainly can do it again. It's also obviously not very likely that he does, but there's not much ownership here. There's a very high ceiling. Makes him an interesting option given all of the other value, even if he is a little bit overpriced for his medium projection. Number 4, LaMelo Ball, 9,900, taking on the Denver Nuggets, projected for 7% ownership with a 10% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He has point guard and shooting guard eligibility, which makes him a little bit more appealing as well. One thing that stands out about Ball is that he missed a lot of time for Charlotte. He was sort of slowly being brought back, played like I think 30 minutes in his first game back. Last game, he played 33 minutes, and it would be pretty easy to look at that and say, like, okay, well, we can expect Ball to play another 33 minutes or so here. But he did deal with some foul trouble in that game. It looked pretty likely like he was going to play 36 plus had he not dealt with foul trouble. And so I think there's a chance that you see him play, full 36 plus minutes here. The matchup's not appealing, but Ball is reasonably priced. He is really good. Certainly gives you a high ceiling. Number 3, same team in that unappealing matchup against Denver. Miles Bridges at $7,700 with small forward and power forward eligibility. It's not a spot that I'm really looking to target heavily against Denver, but he is projected for 9% ownership with a 12% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He is likely to give you 37 or 38 minutes. He's averaging about a fantasy point per minute this season. It's just a spot where not many other people are going to go there. It's a contrarian way to round out a lineup that has higher probability plays elsewhere. Number 2, Devonte Graham, $5,500, taking on the Orlando Magic, 10% projected ownership, 12% chance of being in the optimal lineup. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is in health and safety protocols. This may or may not have an impact on Graham. He was likely to play around 32 minutes regardless. You could see him play several more minutes now, or you could just see Satoransky and or Garrett Temple pick up more minutes and Graham's playing time remain unchanged. But at $5,500, even in around 32 minutes, Graham looked like a reasonable option. Now there's at least the potential for him to play more minutes. As long as the ownership doesn't creep up too much with the news that Alexander Walker won't be playing, he looks like a high upside, fairly priced tournament option. And number 1, the top tournament play on DraftKings, Dejante Murray at $10,300, getting 12% ownership against the Los Angeles Lakers, 14% chance of being in the optimal lineup. He's about $2,000 less expensive than Nikola Jokic. He's not in the same category as Jokic in terms of upside or medium projection, but we know Murray is capable of giving you massive games this year. This is a favorable matchup against the Lakers. They play at a fast pace. They don't defend well. Murray rebounds well, which makes him a little bit more consistent than most other guards. He's not completely scoring dependent. He can score the ball, though. He gets assists. He gets steals. This is a really appealing matchup for Dejante Murray at relatively low ownership. So to recap on DraftKings, right now the top 5 tournament options. Number 5, Steph Curry. Number 4, LaMelo Ball. Number 3, Miles Bridges. Number 2, Devonte Graham. And number 1, Dejante Murray.